Hey, it's another mother flipping SMOKECAST. Guys, it's not easy to maintain the same level of energy for all of these, okay? I know that I have to convey a certain level of confidence so that you won't lose faith in your guru, in your guide on the spirit quest, which is my SMOKECASTs. But you know, even me, the philosopher, the self-appointed know-it-all, posting my fucking, damn, that was quick, stuff on the internet without a care in the world. You know, I can also get into a mood of deep contemplation about my life and how it really is difficult to live in the year of the Lord 2026, where SMOKECASTs is the only thing that's powering forward the new generation of people that will keep this thing afloat. Now, you've done your part, dear viewer. You pulled your part of the load today, and for that, I applaud you. And so now it's my turn to do mine, even though I was feeling rather lacking of inspiration on the purely philosophical plane because of the worries of my life. Worries, eh? Why worry? That's something I've said before. And another thing I've said before is smoke 'em if you got 'em. Alright? Golden Retriever, baby. Look at that happy guy. You know, is it truly the end times? Hell no. Alright? Repeat after me. Hell no. If somebody asks you if it's the end times, you have a duty to say hell no. Or some other variation of that exclamation. A variation of the exclamation. Of the Emancipation Proclamation. Yeah. Call me Abraham Lincoln. Better click it on the LinkedIn. Put it on my resume. Going off the reservation. Have you made 'em? Cartwright. I don't need a right. I'm living park life. Everything's going up in smoke like a blur. But all my wisdom gets buried in the algorithm because of a slur. Your speech be slurred. And I ain't drinking. I'm getting high on life. I'm getting high as a kite. Like Franklin. I know how to tie my shoes. And I know how to count from 1 to 2. Anyways, there's someone down there in the forest, in the deep forest, watching me, trying to control my behavior. Or are they? Or are they simply tuning in for some dope-ass rhymes? You know, should you always be suspicious of other people? Did somebody hurt you? I know that I'm always suspicious of other people. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from enjoying my time here in this world. But it sure is crazy out there. Alright, it's hard to get a job. It seems like the economy is doing badly. I'm really struggling to get a leg up. I'm thinking my ass off, trying to understand how people get to the place where they are in life. And, you know, sometimes sometimes even yours truly might consider to feel the emotion of despair, even though, that never really accomplishes anything. But how do I, the philosopher, manage to bring myself out of despair? Well, anyone who doesn't want to step on anyone's toes could say, oh, devote yourself to nature. Breathe in the air. Music, musings, literature, words, mere words. No. The truth is, it's mystical where I get my energy from. But it's there. As long as you can take another second of this, something's gonna happen. But I'm not really sure what this person threw. Maybe they're taking a shit. I had to take a shit in the woods here the other day. And quite frankly, it was one of the best shits. And I know what you're thinking to yourself. It seems like if anyone here is following the stock market, seems like any moment now there's going to be panic at the disco, unless the war economy, the global war economy, manages to keep the scarcity of raw commodities to the point where treasury bonds don't fail as a store of value, which is what my first SMOKECAST was about, I think, the Iran conflict, in which I talked about how I thought Trump's diplomatic style was effectual. But of course, the tragic catch-22 of it all is that it's an inevitable stalemate in order to keep the pumps flowing. Which is why I was talking about war for oil. And how it's something we've committed ourselves to since the world wars. And before that, of course, there was the war for gold. The gold! And then we moved up to talk about energy and to talk about morality. And how gold plays an important role in electromagnetic conduction of energy, of electricity. And how with each level upwards discovered, we discover another level downward, to the point of the dichotomy of the star and the black hole, and how all of the everything of the united experience that we experience, the whole with a W in front of it, is held up like a sail in the tension between emanating energy and gravitating matter, dense matter. And so really, I'm not trying to make a SMOKECAST to serve you the meaning of life on a platter. Alright, this isn't a meaning of life restaurant, and I am not your waiter. In fact, I'd say see you later, because life waits for no one. But I still wanted to make this SMOKECAST so you could have something to listen to. maybe to ease your soul for a little bit through the power of, well, who knows what. Who knows what it is about these videos that at least make me feel a little bit calmer. So it's gonna be shorter than my normal long forms, but I'd like you to take this with you as you've seen this video, and that is, you can always wait until next Monday or until the next hour. Alright, give yourself some time to think about stuff, and remember that you can't really change things outside of yourselves, but you can change things inside of yourself. And the way you respond to things are more important for your outcomes than things, which is usually something you can't do anything about. So shout outs to all the people in my fan base, and share this as much as possible so I become famous and I can make a travel blog or a cooking show or something. Or maybe I'll just get lazy and gamble away the money and write a book about it, and then blow my fucking brains out. Like so many other tortured artists. Or maybe not. I was gonna stop the video there, but the phone wouldn't let me. No, I definitely won't do that. But, I guess what I'm trying to say is that everything isn't rainbows and sunshine, dust. Sometimes it's just dust. But seriously, does anyone have a job for me?